Hi, everybody. Boy, I hope y'all had a wonderful holiday season. I hope it was very good to you on and your websites. Hope you sold a lot, but I hope you got a lot of rest. I know I didn't. I had a house full of people. But I'm hoping you got a lot of rest. Hey, last time we were here, let's change my slides. Last time we were here, we talked about a email funnel. Okay. And I actually had some of you contact me and ask me for clarification, stuff like that. They should be, and I say they, SiteGround should be sending you emails on all the stuff that we talk about here. Matter of fact, I got some URLs that I'll post at the end of this, and they will send those out in the email to everybody coming up. But I was glad that some of you contacted me, because that shows me that some of you are actually doing this. Here's the problem with these webinars. If you just watch this webinar and go, hey, that's interesting, and never do anything with it, or don't do something immediately with it, chances are real good that you're not going to do anything else with it. And I say this because I've attended hundreds of these marketing webinars, and had great intentions of implementing those and just never got around to it. But so I strongly urge you to take what you're going to learn here, apply it to what you're doing, and just do one. If you can just get one and you understand the process and the tactics that you have to use, once you get past that, everything else is downhill. So last month we built an email funnel. Hopefully you've all got those. We created a lead magnet, which in the case of Fat Beard's Pirate Coffee was how to create the perfect cup of coffee. It was a PDF I promised to send you. And then I talked about creating a squeeze page to squeeze their email address out of them. Get how that works? That's why it's a squeeze page. Today, we're actually going to build a squeeze page, and I'm going to show you what one looks like. Last time, I talked about Mail Poet. At the end, I'm going to tell you about a new tool that I'm playing with. And then I also walked you through creating an email sequence so that once you got their email, you started sending them, and you put them in their into your funnel and into your sequence to hopefully generate some additional income from these people. And in the case of Fat Beard Pirate Coffee, we were selling our sampler pack, okay, which was just 3 4-ounce bags of the different flavors, and that's where we're going to start today. Now, as we've talked, last month we talked about the sales funnels, but when I say funnel, different people will call what we're doing different things. Some people call them funnels, some people call them frameworks, whatever you call it. What we're doing is basically the same thing. I'm going to walk you through creating a page that convinces people to buy one small thing, and then we're going to upsell a couple of other things. The whole point of today's system is to be able to build a series of offers that you can sell, that you make more money than you spend on advertising. Okay. A lot of people will just do a lead magnet and go with that, and you're giving something away for free, but you're getting an email address. And hey, that's great if you've got a high converting email address. If you're hitting the people that you need to get to, then that's great. But a lot of people can't afford to just buy traffic, and hope and wait for 3-4 weeks before the sales to cover that traffic comes in. So what we're going to deal with here is how to build a sales funnel that you can buy traffic, send to, and the goal is simply to make more money than you spend. And as you see, we're going to do that. We're not going to make a whole lot of money, but we're going to make more money that we spend. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about a sales funnel. So let's look at a very basic funnel. Now this, I'm going to show you, like I said, we're going to sell the sampler pack. Okay. This will work with any physical product that you can sell cheaply. It will work with a digital product. I think you'll find that you have more luck with a physical product or a service. Not a lot of people are going to go through this for a free PDF or something like that. But if you've got a physical product that you can produce relatively cheap, or if you've got a service that you can provide people that is that doesn't take up all of your time, a 15-minute consult or something like that, then these will convert pretty good. Fat Pirate Coffee has a sampler product, 4 ounces of each rum, whiskey, and tequila infused coffee. No, I'm not selling the alcohol. And quite honestly, I can't imagine a tequila infused coffee, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that wants to drink that. So our sampler pack normally sells for $9.95, but here's the dirty little secret. With packaging and everything, I've got about $2.50 in each of my sampler packs. So yeah, I can afford to give a few away. But I don't want to give a few away because I want to make money on this. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set up a free plus shipping funnel, okay? And come on, you can figure out the basics from the name. Let's see. Let's swap over to, okay, let me drag this over here. Okay, here's my sampler pack. And I went ahead and created me a product. This is product number 86, okay? And I've got my image and everything. My normal price is $9.95, but we're gonna sell it for $0, okay? And I put in my little description and everything, and we can we view this? Where do you view it? There we go, yeah. Yes, I wanna leave the site. That's all it takes. But I don't want to send people to this, because if I send people to this, what does it do? It requires them to make another click. I want to make this as simple as possible. So this product is the wide end of my funnel, okay? And quite honestly, who doesn't like free coffee? I'm giving you 12 ounces of coffee. That's enough to make basically 4 ounces is enough to make 2 cups. So I'm giving you 6 cups of coffee, and I'm just asking people, and I tell them this up front, I'm asking them to pay shipping and handling of $7.95. I'm not making a lot, but after my cost to actually ship it and my product, I'm making about $1.95 per order. That's not a lot, but it does beat making $0 per order or going in the hole. So what that means is right now, I can spend $1.95 to get a customer. I'm not going to get a lot of customers for $1.95. So we need something that will sweeten the pot, something that will convince them to upgrade. Now, remember, we've already got if we've got them to click on this and get to this point, we've already got them to bring out the credit card. So what else can we do? Well, we really don't want to sell them more coffee. We've already convinced them that this sampler pack is the absolute the bomb. This is what they need. So if we were to go on and say, hey, for $20 more, you can get a 5-pound bag of one of these coffees, that's really not going to add to the order. What can we sell to a coffee drinker that would enhance their purchase, but not cost a lot? How about a coffee mug? So let's go over here. I'm just going to, that's wrong one. Hang on, I'm confused. Oh, there we go. So I created me a coffee mug, okay? And I sell it for $12.95. I don't buy it I don't pay that much for it. So this is a great little upsell. And you can see, here. But this complements my coffee or my sampler pack. It doesn't compete with my free plus shipping. And also I can print these for about $4 a piece. I sell them for $12.95. So I make $8.95 for each one. Now, not everybody that's going to buy my sampler pack is going to go for the coffee mug. Industry statistics tell us that about 1/3 of your people that buy your free plus shipping will click on through and get this, okay? But that does increase our overall average cart value. So how do we get this to them. We don't want to just send them to the product page that I've got here. We want to make that a little easier. There's a lot of plugins that will do this for you, okay? That will allow you to add an upsell on the cart. I'm cheap. So whenever I don't have to, I don't buy a plugin. Okay. Lena just told me that my screen's a little fuzzy, so I will expand that, and we're going to swap to another one just now. I'm cheap. I don't want to buy a plugin if I don't have to, even though they're not really expensive. So I'm logged into my server here. I'm a developer. I can do these kind of things. Let's see. I want to edit my functions.php, and down here, I've got a little piece of code that's going to look through the order that they're about to place and say, do they, number one, did they buy the sampler pack? If they bought the sampler pack, then if they didn't buy the sampler pack, I'm not interested. And if they didn't buy, or if they've already bought the coffee mug in this order, I don't want to upsell them to them again. So this only applies to they've got the sampler pack and they don't have a coffee mug. By the way, this is very rough sample code. Okay, if I were writing code for you professionally, I would not be writing code that looks like this. If I had a junior developer that wrote code like this, I would make them write sentences on the board or something until they understood that you don't write code that looks like this. But for sample purposes, this will work just fine. By the way, I'm going to link at the end of this, I'm going to link to the blog post that I stole this from so that you can read up on how to do this yourself if you want to do it yourself. But that's all this does. This says, hey, do I have a product here? Do I have a sampler pack in the shopping cart? And do I have a coffee mug in the shopping cart? So now that those are done, let's save that. Yep, okay. Now that those are done, I can go to shop. Actually, let's do this over here because this one hasn't been filled out. So I can go to shop and I can say, oh, hey, I want to add the sampler pack. I go to view cart, and yes, I've got a sampler pack, and I go to checkout, and son of a gun, there we are. I've got my special offer here that all they have to do is click on it, and it adds it to their cart. Now look at that. My cart has now gone from an average cart value of $12.95 to a cart value of $20.90. A nice little upgrade. Let's see. Let me get my slides back. This is a lot of swapping back and forth. I think that's it. There we go. Okay. So now we have our coffee mug. So let's do a little funnel math here. Okay. If I buy traffic, and when I say buy traffic, I mean run an ad on Facebook or Twitter or any of the social medias, or if I run an ad on myfavoritecoffee.com or something like that, and I can get it for a reasonable price. And usually when I'm trying to do these, I try to price it per click because I know what I'm getting there. If you can price it per impression, but an impression doesn't give you that much. An impression is simply a branding thing. I like to price them per click. So 100 clicks, let's just pretend I'm getting them for $100. So I laid out $100. Industry standards tell me 10% of the people, if I have a decent offer, 10% of the people are going to buy my free plus shipping, okay, at $7.95. 30% of them should buy that coffee mug at $12.95. So that means I have, for my $100, I have $118 in gross sales. Not bad. But once you subtract out the cost of goods sold and everything, I'm in the hole $18.20. I don't want to be in the hole $18.20 because most of the people didn't buy my mug. Our average cart value here is $11.88. I don't know why those all have semicolons at the end of them. They're not lines of code. We're close, okay? Quite honestly, if I can add 10 people, which is what I've done here, I've added 10 people to my mailing list, and it's only cost me $18.20. So my cost per customer is $1.82. not bad, especially since I'm going to try to upsell them on joining my coffee club. I could probably get away with this, but I don't want to get away with this. I want to do more. So what could I add to this that would take us up to the next level? What would add to this? Well, I was sitting here thinking, I pulled out my French press and started making my coffee, and I thought, whoa, wait a second. This is something I can add. So yes, I'm going to add an upsell on top of this order for a French press, because quite honestly, when you're making coffee, especially if you're making cold press coffee, okay, I put the water in, I put it in the fridge for 2 hours, I press it, the flavor just comes through beautifully. And I would tell them that. I would tell them, this is my favorite one. I don't advise lying to people. If this is not your favorite, don't say that. But if this is your favorite, if you've got some experience with this one, then tell them this is a good one. So when it comes to coffee, whether you're doing that first hot cup in the morning, or you're sitting out in the after the Florida sun in the afternoon and you want a cold press, this is a great way to go. So this adds to it without taking away from the value of the coffee, the free plus shipping, or without adding to the without taking away from the coffee mug, because it's not a bigger mug, it's not a replacement of the mug, it's something that enhances all this. The great thing is this sells for $69.95 and I can buy it for $30. Okay, that gives me a profit on each one I sell of $49.95. So that sweetens it. Now, industry standards tell me that 1 in 3 people are going to do this. But how do we get that in there? Well, let's take a look. I've got another piece of code right here. And again, this is another one that I'm going to post the blog post, or you're going to get an email with the blog post that is going to show you how you can do this. But basically, when the order is done, I'm going to hook in and I'm going to say, okay, give me that word, or give me that order that just got placed. And I'm going to look through it and see if they bought my sampler pack. And if they bought my sampler pack, then instead of redirecting them to the, hey, thank you for your order page, I'm going to redirect them to my upsell page. And I've got a page called Upsell that talks about my my express, or my French press. I'm blowing through this a lot faster. So those of you who are worried you weren't going to be able to make it all the time, don't worry about that. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now, we were doing that in Mozilla. So now we've got our checkout. Everything's happy. Let me put in, actually, this is 6. None of this is my correct information, just in case, because I've actually made that mistake and put my correct information, and it lives on YouTube forever and ever. So let's make this big so that everybody can see it. This is just your standard WooCart or WooCommerce shopping cart. Cal plus Bob 6. Okay, and now we're going to place the order. Now, here comes the magic. We've placed the order. Hopefully, it's going to it did not. Okay, let's try that one more time. I might have forgotten to save it. Let's give it one. Let's try this one more time. Okay, we want to go to shop, add to cart. I have added that in. I want to proceed to checkout. You know, this worked just fine. Let's take our special author and let's place our order. And my phone keeps blowing up because it keeps telling me that I'm generating 2 emails every time I do this. There we go. Now, instead of taking you to the thank you for doing this page, or thank you for your order page, now we come to a page called Upsell. And I say, wait, you're not done yet. And I do that on purpose because at this point, if I say, thank you for your order, they say, oh, this is done. My order's done. This is something else. If I say, wait, you're not done yet, I'm keeping that sales loop open. It's very important. So I say, wait, you're not done yet. And I go on to expound the benefits of the French press. And, I've got my button there. Yes, I want that flavor. I tell them about the guarantee. At the bottom, I give them an exit, but I let them know that this is not the proper exit. Now, a lot of people cringe when they see this stuff. I have developer friends that call this an anti-pattern. It is not an anti-pattern. This actually works. This will make people think, do I really want to take my chances? Some of them will actually click up there. If not, they have to consciously say to you, no. So here they say, yes, I want the flavor. But again, I don't want to take them back to the page for this product and make them click again. So I take them straight to the checkout page. Now, if you look at this URL right here, checkout, and it says, I don't know if you can see that. I can't expand that, sorry. The URL, and this is part of the stuff that I'll be sending out tomorrow, but the URL is for checkout, and it says add to cart, and it has my product number. So I add it to the cart and take them directly to checkout because this is a separate order, but all their information, since they just filled it out, all their information is already filled out here, and I can place the order. Now, this time, since product number 89 was not in the shopping cart, it should take us to the standard thank you because the sales cycle is done at this point. Okay, and that's just the order details, the French press. It does go in a separate order, but that's acceptable in this at this point. Notice though that upsell page I went to, and let's just go back to that. Is that? Oh, that has a full. Okay, that is a full page. So I thought I had changed the. I thought I had changed the template on this, but it didn't. This gives you the basics of the tactics you need to use, okay? Now, the one thing that we've not talked about yet is the squeeze page. Let's build one of those real quick. Do I have one? I do. There we go. Okay. I'm not a graphic designer. If you see anything on the web that looks good and has my name on it, my wife, the lovely and talented Kathy, is the one responsible. And she did not do this. This is just a stock page. Now, this has since I'm logged in, this has the toolbar here. So let's look at what this looks like without the toolbar. And I can go here. Okay, now this is zoomed in, but you can see it. Normally, instead of just my picture here, I would have a video of me enjoying coffee or me talking about the coffees that we make, because this is a squeeze page for my sampler pack. This is where it all starts, okay? And I would have a video there of me talking about my coffee or enjoying my coffee and giving a little spiel. And then I'm going to have some copy here. Now, how much copy you put depends on what kind of pages you like to design. There are the minimalist pages, and if you've already got warm traffic, the minimalist page is really all you need. If they know who you are and they already like you, that's probably all you need. If, on the other hand, you're buying cold traffic, people who do not know you, have no idea who you are, and don't know they have the problem of not enjoying flavored coffee, then you're probably going to want more copy here. You're going to want some social proof, people saying, hey, I bought this and I love it, that kind of stuff. But it all boils down to this right here. Give me my coffee. And again, this does not take us to the coffee sampler pack page. This adds it to the cart and takes us to the checkout page, or takes us to the cart page. So let's run through that. I click there and I'm right here at checkout, and I've got my special offer because this is a brand new order and the sampler pack is on there, and it has my information because I already placed one here before. So you see how that works. That's the beginning of the process, and I specifically put it at the end of the talk so you can see the rest of it. But that's the beginning of the process, that this sampler pack. or this sampler page. Now notice that there's only one way off of this page. This is a squeeze page, okay? And whether you're collecting an email address or you're trying to sell something, all your squeeze pages should have one and only one way off, and that's the buy button or the call to action. In this case, it's give me my coffee. On my free how to make a great cup of coffee page, this would have a place for their name. I always collect first name. I rarely collect last name, but first name and email address, and then give me or tell me how to make a great cup of coffee, something like that. And again, if it's cold traffic, I'm gonna have a lot of copy and some social proof. If it's already warm traffic, if these people are coming from my Facebook page, if I'm posting on my Facebook page, hey, I got this new offer, then I'm going to do a much more minimalistic piece here, just like I've got here, because they already know me. I don't have to resell them on the concept. But this is where it all starts. And the sampler page, the upsell page is very similar. Oh, no, I guess it did. I thought I had, that's right. I thought I had put that on there, but I normally would have had this as the same thing, where it doesn't have the header, it doesn't have the menu, the search or anything like that. I want them to have to click here or here to get off this page. And this one just takes you back to the home page. So it takes you back to the home page if I spell it right. So that was a last minute addition. I do apologize for that. So now how do I make those? Well, you can get your template probably has a blank page or a minimal page. Mine did not, because I'm just using one of the free ones. So I created page landing.php, and it's just basic stuff. Okay, it's nothing. Let's make that a little. I don't know that I can make this any bigger. I apologize. This won't let me increase the font size. Again, the URL to where you can get this particular piece of code and put it in there is will be included in the email they send you tomorrow. So, but it's just bare bones. It strips out all of, or most all of the WordPress stuff. It's only the stuff that you need to display the content itself, and that's on purpose. You don't want people to have any other choice but to click on your call to action. And if you've given them a exit, then maybe they'll click that as well. But quite honestly, on the sampler page, there was only one way to do it. There was the, yes, give me my coffee. And if you didn't want to do that, you had to close the page or close the tab. And that was on purpose. Okay, let's go back to the slides. Now we're selling our French press. Now, we're not going to sell a lot of French presses, especially at $70, and we're starting them off at $7.95. You're not going to have a lot of people go up to that offer. But the industry standard for a properly fitted upsell like this is 10%. So if I get one person to buy it, then I make an additional $49.95. That means my average cart value is $18.83. And I spent $100 and made $120.95. Now, I don't know about you, but if I can spend $100 and make $120, I'm going to do that all day until it's tapped out. And these eventually will tap out. But I'm going to buy as much traffic as I can and drive it to there because I'm making money. And this is the important thing, I've added 10 new customers to my mailing list. I got paid $21. And I added new customers to my mailing list. And these are people that are immediately going into my sequence that we discussed last month that was getting them to subscribe to my system. And subscribe to my coffee service. So every month I send them a certain amount of coffee, but every month they pay me a certain amount of money. Monthly reoccurring revenue is the holy grail of e-commerce. And that works whether you've got a service industry, whether you've got physical products, whether you've got virtual products. You can this process will work with everything that every type of system that you've got. Oh, we talked about the squeeze page. Okay, yeah. The squeeze page was this one over here. That's it. When you see people talk about a squeeze page, this is what they're talking about, okay? There's no way out of it except for them to do what you want them to do or to close the browser window. Most of the time, squeeze pages will just get an email address. This one I like because I'm going to make a little money off of it. And if I can make a little money while building my mailing list, that's always a bonus. Okay. So why is all this important? Well, it's said that McDonald's spends about $1 in advertising to get somebody to the drive-thru in any given McDonald's. But they only make about 50 cents on the hamburger that you buy, okay? So if a buyer is only going to come up and drive through and say, I'd like a burger, please, they're losing 50 cents. And since they're not collecting email address and not getting into monthly recurring revenue, that's basically it for them. The transaction's over. That's why they started back in the 70s going, hey, you want fries with that? And I used to work at a McDonald's, and they teach you that and they train you on that. They actually do have a place called Hamburger U, and they send out videos to train people on it. And one of the things they do is train them. You want fries with that? Would you like a Coke? Upsells. And that's all we're doing here. Because if you place the hamburger and they say you want fries with that, by the time you've added fries and a drink to your burger, they're making about $1.24 in profit for every dollar they spend to get you in, or to get a person in the drive-thru. Again, if I can spend $1 and make $1.24, I'm going to do that all day. And so is McDonald's. And that's basically what we did with our list, or with our squeeze page. But the important thing is we got 10 people in our mailing list, and this is what our mailing list is, what we call owned traffic. Okay. Nobody can take it away from you. Facebook can decide they don't like you, or Facebook can decide that they're going to change their algorithm and your way of doing business is not going to work. And they've done both of those things to companies and destroyed entire companies and sometimes even swaths of industry because they felt like changing. They didn't like how people were doing it. I own my mailing list. Facebook can't take that away. Google can't do a Google slap and take that away from me. That's mine. So the point of all of this, while making the $20 was really nice, the 10 people I added to my mailing list is much better. Because on average, if you are actively working your mailing list and you've got interesting products and your mailing list is targeted, the people that are interested in your products are the ones that's on your mailing list, your mailing list should be worth to you about $1 per name per month. Now, how you get to that's a whole different story. You're going to have to email them more than once a month to get that. But if you're constantly building new engagement funnels, and you're sending out those regular, not newsletters, but regular emails, just reminding them, hey, we're here, this is what we're doing, that kind of stuff, which is what you'd send them when they're not in a funnel, then you're keeping them engaged. And a lot of them will drop off, but that's okay. Those are the people you don't want anyhow. The ones that stick around are the ones that like what you are doing. Those are the ones that are important to you. Those are your raving fans. They're the ones that are going to stick around and buy from you. And that's your owned traffic. And in a future email, we're going to talk, or a future webinar, we're going to talk a little bit more about how to utilize that owned traffic. Okay, told you, reference. The redirect after checkout you can find here. This is a list of all the different types of add to cart URLs that WooCommerce supports. It supports more than just the ones we were doing. You can add to cart and take it to the cart. You can add to cart and take them to the checkout, which is what we were doing. You can add to cart with a specific quantity, all kinds of stuff. That's a great thing. And SiteGround is going to send you an email that will have these two links in. These two are the basis for all the code that I worked on, or that I showed you today. I know I didn't show it to you deeply, but you can always watch the replay if you want to see it. But quite honestly, if you go to these 2 blog posts, you can do what I did, which was cut, paste, or copy, paste, and then make it work within your own system. I told you we're going to have a bonus. Last time we were talking, I was talking about MailPoet. Now, I really had high hopes for MailPoet. And if all you're doing is a newsletter, then MailPoet's probably a good system. But if all you're doing is a newsletter, just don't bother, because nobody cares, okay? I'm sorry, some people will find that rude, but I'm telling you for sure that the emails that I get, and I'm on probably 100 different mailing lists, the ones I drop off the quickest are the ones that send me a monthly email or monthly newsletter, and that's it. But if you really want engagement, then you're going to have to do something more than that. And MailPoet just doesn't offer you the tools to do that. So I started playing around with MailerLite.com. And this is the next one that we do. I'm probably going to focus a little more on the things that you can do with MailerLite. MailerLite gives us 2 very important things. Landing pages. And we built ours on our site, but you can also build them in MailerLite. I'm sorry, 3 important things. Landing pages, forms, whether that be a pop-up form, like an exit intent when somebody moves off of the page, you see those things pop up. I love those. A lot of people hate them. I love them because they work. I don't care how much people hate pop-ups. The reason they're still on the web is because pop-ups do work. And if you're not running pop-ups to get people into your mailing list, you need to start them right now. And MailerLite is a great way to do that. Now, normally I do not advocate any system that charges people money because, like I said, I am cheap. MailerLite is $10 a month. I've been subscribing for 2 months now, and it's one of the best investments I've ever had. That gets me all of their features up to 1,000 people on my mailing list. And if I've got 1,000 people on my mailing list, I'm making money from my mailing list, and everything's going fine. And I can afford to upgrade at that point. The other thing that they give us is automations. And this is where the sequences come in. And they have a system that is incredibly easy to use. I'm hoping to build one of these webinars just to show you how easy it is to build an automation in there. You still spend a lot of time writing emails, but hooking them all up and everything, that's dead simple. And moving people around, and even to the point where if somebody buys something, if I've got them in my welcome funnel and my welcome funnel is only there to get them to buy the sampler pack, as soon as they get the sampler pack, I want to stop sending them those emails. You can do that with MailerLite. They have a WordPress plugin that is free, but you need an account to make use of it. But it makes it really easy to work with. So if you haven't started playing with MailerLite and you're looking for a good mailing system, I can't recommend MailerLite enough. I've worked with everything from Aweber to, I was hardcore MailChimp for a long time, and MailerLite reminds me of MailChimp back in the early days when it was, when I found it much more useful. Let's see, I think, that's it. Okay, that's all I got.